Well, folks, I'm going to show you how to do test mode on a Saeco Talea or Giro model, one of the models without the screen. It's really simple. Shut the machine off first, and you're going to put it in test mode by holding the water button while you give it power. And as you do so, you'll see the lights light up in a rotating fashion. That means you're in test mode. So there's basically 6 different things you can test, and it's based on the position of the dial and the position and which of the 2 buttons you press. The dosing button and the descaling button are not used. But if we go to the rightmost position here and we push the water button, you can hear the coffee maker go into the working position. And then when it gets to the working position, it flashes that the light to indicate the micro switch is tripped. So if it moves, but then you don't see that light, it means you might have a bad micro switch. To put it back to home position, I'm going to set this to the center and push the water button again. It goes back the other direction. Similarly, the other light comes on to let you know. Test the grinder, we go to position 1 and then push the button. I've got no coffee in here, so it's revving really high. You may or may not see the water light flashing, but it's flashing indicating the RPM counter of the grinder. So if you push this button and you hear the grinder, but you don't see it flashing, or if you don't hear the grinder, that your grinder may be stuck or dirty. And a lot of times there's a problem with the chute and they get filled up with coffee. But in this particular model, I just fixed one of the brushes was bad on the motor. It had broken off. So anyway, so water button at position 1 tests the grinder. Position 2 in the middle puts the brew group back to home position, and in position 3 it runs it in working position. Now if you push the coffee button, you have 3 different functions. So this one runs the pump. Okay. If you want to test the pump, the easiest way to test the pump is to put a cup of or something under here and open your steam valve, and then you can push the coffee button to test the pump. You'll also see the light lights up and flashes to indicate that the flow meter is working. You can test the heater by pushing and holding here. Now I'm not sure if it indicates when it's up to temperature or not, but I'm pretty sure this runs the heater in this particular model. And if you push it over here to the leftmost position, yeah, so that water's burning my hand hot. So it did work. Once it got hot, it built up enough pressure that it started pushing the water out too. And then finally, the third function in the leftmost position tests the I think it's the blow-off valve is the proper term. So anyway, on the right position, you have right position and water is your brew group movement. Middle position and your water button is the brew group position. Left position and your water button is your grinder. And then with your coffee button, rightmost position is your pump. Middle position is your heater. And left position is your blow-off valve. That's it. It's the Saeco debug mode for the Talea and the Giro models.